Hey, I'm Jake. This is your fourth Yoga for Dudes class, the free variation, and today we're just going to move and have fun, and here we go. Let's get on the mat. I'm going to start standing today with your feet hips width apart. It's about 2 fist width apart, feet straight forward. Stand tall, shoulders back, chin up. Take a big breath in, reach your arms up. And exhale, arms down at your side. Big breath in, reach your arms up. And exhale, arms back down at your side. And once more, full breath in. Exhale, bow all the way forward. Bend your knees enough to touch, feet straight. Inhale, legs straight, lift halfway up. And exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose, step back. Legs straight for low plank. Keep your shoulders lifted, lower your hips. For cobra, slide forward, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, roll over your knees, tuck your toes. Adjust your hands straight and lift your hips, down dog. Okay, bend your knees enough to feel release in your low back. Okay, and so far as you can feel that lift in your low back, you can stretch your legs out towards straight. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees, step or walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, get as tall as you have to feel release in your spine. Exhale, bow forward, touch the floor. Deep breath in, reach your arms up. And exhale, arms down at your side. Full breath, reach up overhead. Exhale, bow forward, touch the floor in front of you. Inhale, horizon pose, halfway up. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose, step back. Legs straight for a low plank. Inhale, cobra, slide forward, flatten your hands out. Exhale, down dog. Okay, so inhale, reach your right leg straight back, one-legged dog, lift from the inner thigh. Flex your right foot so all toes on your right foot point straight down. And exhale, bring your knee towards your forehead, forehead towards your knee. Inhale, reach your right leg back again, one-legged dog, hips up. Exhale, draw your knee in and up towards your forehead, round your upper back, forehead towards your knee. Inhale, reach it back, hips up. And it's the same action as step. Look between your hands, come onto your fingertips. Exhale, knee in and up to step. Okay, your right foot between your hands. For lunge, okay, that step takes practice. If you didn't quite get there, wiggle your right foot forward enough till your right knee is over your ankle. Your back foot's vertical. And come up, hands on your right thigh. Root your right heel heavy. Okay, get grounded, look down for balance. As you're balanced, reach your arms up for high lunge. Arms up, torso up. Rebend that front knee. Okay, look up as you're steady. Exhale, hands to the mat. Come on to your fingertips and inhale, twist. Reach your right arm up. And lengthen your spine, turn your chest towards the wall to your right. Look up. And exhale. Hands to the mat, step back for down dog. Okay, feet touch, come forward for plank. And look at your right hand, you're gonna turn it just a 1/4 inch to the right for side plank. Right hand, right side of foot. Stack your feet, lift your hips. Okay, if you need more stability, left foot forward in half lunge. Otherwise, stack your feet. Today, top arm by your ear, look up as you're balanced. Exhale, lower your left hand down next to your right, straighten your hands for low plank. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog, straighten your hands, lift your hips up. Second side, inhale, reach your left leg back, square your hips. Exhale, knee to your forehead, forehead towards your knee. Inhale, reach it back, lift your hips up. And exhale, draw it in, knee in and up, round your upper back. Inhale, reach it back, and it's the same action, but look forward. It does help to come to fingertips to give yourself space. to step. Your left foot between your hands. Okay, if it didn't quite make it, just wiggle that foot up there. Okay, and come up, hands on your left thigh. Root your left heel heavy. Look down to get your balance. Okay, power up your back leg. Then come up. Arms up. Torso up. Reach up out of your low back. And last thing is to look up only as you're balanced. And exhale. Hands to the mat. And inhale. Twist open. Left arm reaches up. Keep that back leg strong. Root your left heel heavy. As you turn your chest towards the ceiling. Look up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back for down dog. Right, feet touch, plank pose. Look at your left hand. You turn it just a 1/4 inch to the left to keep your wrist parallel with the front edge of the mat. That'll rotate your elbow crease towards the crown of your head and plug your shoulder back. Hips up. If you need more stability, right foot forward. Otherwise, top arm by your ear. Lift your hips up. Look up and exhale. Hands to the floor, straighten your hands. Lower down, all the way down to the floor. Point your feet, clasp your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers right at your sacrum, bend your elbows, angle them up. Pull with your arms to lengthen your back and lift up, shoulders up, arms straight, legs lift. Okay, legs and feet touch for power. If your back's at all tight, feet apart a little bit. Give your back some space. Okay, if the shoulders slouch, unclasp to airplane arms. Okay, hands flat. Tops of feet down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Okay, you're gonna inhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower your back knee super gently. Okay, pad the back knee up if you need. Angle your right foot at a diagonal right. Make sure your right knee points the same direction as your foot. And give it a few breaths. Root your right heel heavy. You bend your elbows so far as that right knee doesn't turn in. Eventually, someday, forearms to the floor. Okay, just not at the expense of that right knee turning in. Okay, come on up. Reach your right arm up. That's step 1, twist open. Step 2, reach your right hand back for your left foot for a thigh stretch. Okay, if you can't quite reach the foot, you use a towel or a strap. Okay, if you're still unable to reach the foot, let it go completely and do step 1. Okay, turn your chest open, plug your right shoulder back, draw your heel towards your outer hip, and engage your back foot, tip your hip up towards your heel. And exhale, gently, release. Wiggle your right foot towards the center of your mat. Okay, for a half split, point your right toes straight up. Right knee points straight up. Hands on either side of your right shin to the floor or blocks. Okay, or whatever. If you don't have the blocks, if you can't quite touch, bend your right knee as much as you have to touch. Okay, but most importantly, flick your toes up. And that'll protect your hamstring attachment as you stretch the hamstrings. Yeah, hello hamstrings. Okay, slide it back, down dog. Inhale, left foot around your left hand for low lunge. Okay, lower your back knee gently. Turn your left foot at a diagonal left. Make sure your left knee widens the same direction as your foot. And give it a few breaths for your hips to open. Root your left heel heavy and settle in so far as that left knee doesn't turn in. Okay, and come on up and twist open. Reach your left arm up. And step 2, bend your right knee. Reach with your left hand for your right foot. And if you can't quite reach the foot, let it go completely. Don't want to force this one, okay? If you leave it in limbo, it's easy to cramp the hamstring. It's a little wonky for the knee too. Knees are expensive to fix. Okay, you don't want to do that. If you got your foot, lengthen your back, twist open, left shoulder back, throat back, draw your heel in. Okay, inhale, release. Slide your left foot to the right. Okay, just enough so when you straighten your left leg out, the second toe of your left foot points straight up, even with the center of your left kneecap, even with the center of your left hip crest. Okay, so you stretch all those hamstrings evenly as you fold over your left leg. Okay, slide it back for down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower for low plank. Keep your shoulders lifted, lower your hips. Cobra, come on up for air. Okay, down dog, tuck your toes. Stretch it back. Okay, inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Warrior two, anchor your left heel. Come on up. Okay, bend your front knee right over your ankle. Make sure you're long enough. Your front thigh's parallel with the floor. And look at your back foot. Make sure it's parallel with the back edge of your mat. Okay, and side angle, right elbow on your right thigh, left arm by your ear. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. Keep your hips square towards the wall to your left. Look up if it doesn't hurt your neck. Okay, hands to the mat. Step back. Down dog. Right, second side. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands. Warrior two. Spin your back heel to the floor. Come on up. And side angle pose. Left forearm on your left thigh. Right arm by your ear. Turn your chest and hips towards the wall to your right. Reach out through your right fingertips. Tilt your gaze up as long as there's no strain in your neck. Okay, hands to the mat. Step it back. Down dog. Inhale, plank. Keep this plank shape. Don't let your chin drop as you lower for low plank. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, down dog. Okay, inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Warrior two. Okay, get long enough in your stance. Alignment's front heel to back inner arch of foot. Straighten back your front leg. Tip forward for triangle pose. Right hand to your right shin, or eventually to the outside of the center of your right outer shin, to the floor or a block. Okay, a lot of straight lines in triangle. So leg straight, back straight, arm straight. If you were to look up, that left wrist is directly over your left shoulder. It's not past or beyond your shoulder. Okay, bring your left hand to your left hip. Look down, bend your right knee, and spring up for half moon. Right hand under your right shoulder to the floor or a prop. Okay, if you don't have a block, it's okay to bend your right knee as much as you have to touch. Look down for balance. Your balance, turn your chest to the left, reach your left arm up, and look up. Okay, step way back, warrior two. Hands to the floor, step back, down dog. Okay, second side, inhale, left foot forward, warrior two, come on up. And straighten both legs, hinge forward. For triangle pose, left hand to the floor or block or up onto the leg. Get as tall as you need to avoid any sort of slouch in the neck or shoulders. Legs steady, reach up and look up so long as your neck is clear. Right. Right hand to your right hip. Okay, make sure this left foot doesn't turn in or out. As you bend your left knee, you could do one big hop or a couple steps for half moon. Left hand under your left shoulder. Turn your chest to the right. Flex your right foot. Okay, if you're steady, reach your right arm up and look up. Okay, inhale, step it way back. Warrior two. All right, hands to the mat. Down dog. Inhale, plank pose. And exhale, low plank. Inhale, cobra. Yeah, bend the elbows enough to set your shoulders back. And exhale, down dog. Okay, inhale, step your right foot between your hands for warrior one. Hands on your right thigh. Okay, little different from warrior two, okay? So it's like a high lunge, only your back heel's rooted. You angle your left foot more towards the left upper corner of your mat to square your hips, broaden your low back left. Okay, then come up, arms up, like a high lunge. Square your chest to the front. Square your hips to the front. Okay, then hands to your hips, elbows back, lean forward. Swivel your left heel up and spring up for warrior three. Chest down, back leg up, flex your left foot. With your hands on your hips, pay attention to squaring the hips, left outer hip down to square them off. Okay, step back, warrior one. Arms up. And exhale, hands to the floor, step back, down dog. And second side, inhale, left foot forward. Sit up, warrior one, hands on your left thigh. Lean into that left leg. Okay, this will give you access to set the whole right inner seam of your leg back. Broaden your hips right to square your hips. Then come up, arms up, torso up. Okay, like a high lunge, but that back heel's rooted. Okay, then hands to your hips. Square your hips, elbows back, shoulders back, lean forward. Spin your back heel up and launch forward. Warrior three. Back leg lifts till you're a T shape. Flex your right foot, wrap your right outer hip down. Hips square. Shoulders back, reach back through your back foot. And step way back for warrior one. Arms reach up. Okay, exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, down dog. Okay, inhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand for squat. Okay, bend your knees deeply. Adjust if you need so your heels stay rooted and press your triceps against your inner knees. Inner knees against your triceps, create a lift in your back. Okay, breathe right here. Step two, place your hands, pointer fingers straight forward. Keep your knees high up on your arms, tip your hips up. Lean forward, come to your tippy toes, bend the elbows, butt up. Face way forward to lift one foot or the other, or both feet. Inner edges of the feet touch. Claw your fingertips to hit the brakes. And you can step it down. And step it back. Down dog. Okay, inhale, plank. Exhale, low plank. You lower to your mat, come onto your forearms. Interlace your fingers. Elbows underneath your inner shoulders, tuck your toes. And lift your hips. Forearm plank. Keep that plank shape. Lift your right leg up. Flex your foot, hips level. Lower it down. Lift your left leg up, hips level. Okay, lower it down. Walk your feet forward, forearm dog. Okay, like down dog on the forearms. Press down through the forearms, especially the wrist part of your grip. Stamp it down to lift your hips up. Okay, bend your knees enough to lift the hips up. And inhale, lift your right leg up, flex your foot, right toes point down, hips level. Okay, lower it down, lift your left leg up. And lower it down. Child's pose, knees wide, big toes touch. Hips sit back, relax your forehead on the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out your mouth. Again like that. In through the nose. And exhale out your mouth. Okay, come on up. Place your hands. All right, down dog. Stretch it back for a dog. Bend your knees enough to release. Create a little arch in the low back. After all those standing poses, it's important to neutralize your back. Hey, right knee wide for pigeon. Hey, right knee all the way to the right edge of your mat. Square your hips, come onto your forearms, and allow your hips to sit back and towards the floor. Okay, then you're going to come on up. Reach your right hand back for your left foot for a thigh stretch. Okay, get taller to reach the foot. And once you've got the foot, option to come onto your left forearm as your quad opens, so long as your weight stays centered on your back thigh and there's no diminishment through the right side of your body. So right head of your arm bone even with the base of your neck, so right shoulder even with the base of your neck. Okay, no slouch. Okay, gently release, step back, and switch sides. Left knee wide for pigeon, left knee all the way to this left edge of your mat. For pigeon, hips sit back and heavy towards the floor. Yeah, give it a breath for your hips to open here. Okay, come on up. Quad stretch. Get taller to reach your foot. Come onto the right hand to reach back. Okay, if you still can't quite reach the foot, let it go to the floor. Okay, you don't want to leave it hanging there. All right? It's an easy way to cramp the hamstring. Okay, if you've got the foot, if you're going deeper in, right forearm to the floor, just watch you don't clench your fist. Watch your weight stays centered on your back thigh. And there's no slouch through your spine. And gently release and step back for down dog. Okay, right foot forward for pyramid pose. You're gonna come up. Pyramid, so make sure you're short enough in your stance. Both heels are rooted. Yes, left foot angles towards the left upper corner of the mat, just like warrior one. Square your hips to the front, fold over your right leg. Hands on either side of your right foot to the floor or props. Okay, if you don't have props, it's okay to bend your right knee enough to touch down. And sway hips slightly left to square your hips, and it's a twist to the right as you bow. Right, step forward and bow, top of your mat. Let's feel the difference in the first one you did. Okay, second side, weight in the left foot, step your right foot back. For pyramid pose, come up, square your hips, root both heels down. Okay, make sure your feet are inner hips width apart. You're not on a tight rope. Okay, fold over your left leg, hands on either side of your left foot to the floor or props. And if you don't have the props, just bend your knee enough to touch. It's a little twist to the left as you bow. Okay, step forward, bow at the top of your mat. Just feel the difference in the first one you did. Okay, bend both knees, sit down, and lie on your back. Take a breath. It's a popular pose, lie on your back pose. And bend your knees. Place your feet, ankles underneath your knees, feet hips width apart for bridge pose. Root your feet down, lift your hips up, lift your low back up, and either clasp your hands underneath you or arms alongside you, palms spin up, whichever gives you leverage to shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Lift your chest, but keep your chin lifted. So your chest lifts towards your chin, but your chin stays lifted away from your chest. And lower your hips down. Press your hands against your thighs. Neck neutral will promote more of a neutral low back. And arms out like cactus arms. Okay, feet as wide as your mat. Let both knees fall to the right. And rest your right foot across your left thigh. And look left, root your left shoulder down. Okay, come on back. Second side, both knees, windshield wiper left. Rest your left foot across your right thigh. And look right, right shoulder roots down. Okay, and come on back to center for happy baby. Bend your knees, hold your shins. Either hold it still or rock and roll, whichever feels better on your back. And stretch your legs out long and flat on the floor, toes point up, knees point up. And bend your left knee in, hold the back of your left thigh with your hands. You can press your leg against your hands rather than hugging the knee in. Okay, to tip your pelvis up slightly and stretch your left leg out straight for a hamstring stretch. As your hamstrings open, you can walk your hands up the leg and even up the calf. Okay, just keep that right leg engaged, right toes point up. Flex your left foot, draw it in. Okay, stretch your left leg out. Long and flat on the floor, bend your right knee in, hold the back of your right thigh with your hands for a hamstring stretch. Supine hamstring stretch. Okay, ought to be able to set a water bottle on your right sole of foot and it wouldn't tip off. So engage the foot evenly to stretch all your hamstrings evenly. So you draw it in. Okay, hug your knees in, rock it up to sit. Okay, and stretch your right leg out. Bend your left knee in for Janu Shirsasana. Twist to the right. Reach your left hand for your right foot or outer shin or thigh, whatever you could get. Okay, right hand to the outside of your right shin on the floor and tip your weight more into your left hip. So you twist right and bow. Okay, just make sure your right leg stays straight. Doesn't matter if you reach your foot, just so far as you keep that right leg straight. Okay, come on up. Second side. Left leg out. Right knee in. For Janu Shirsasana, twist to the left. Reach your right hand for your left foot or a leg, whatever you could get. Just root this left leg down, straight. So that'll plug your thigh into its hip socket, and that'll protect your low back. So I think like the misconception is that you gotta reach this foot no matter what, okay? You wanna really focus more in on that alignment of the legs straight. Okay, come on up. Straighten both legs out wide. Hands behind you. Toes point up. Knees point up. Tip your low back up. Okay, and breathe right here. Or bow down the middle. If your knees lift up, if your low back slouches at all, hands behind you and keep your legs rooted down. All Congrats in completing your fourth and final Yoga for Dudes class. If you've enjoyed these, there's the whole full series where we'll go much more in depth in all that we've covered here and far more. Okay, there's a lot more to be learned. So please go check it out. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.